Hi everybody, it's Forrata Live here with another board game unboxing. This is Voidfall by Mindclash Games. I've been really looking forward to this arriving. This is the Galactic Box, the Kickstarter edition. I've also got the metal structures and the sleeves, which I'll show you in a moment. I'm going to be unboxing this today, taking a look at all the components. Really excited to get into this. Okay, so first up, it's a big box here. Hopefully you can see that. Let's find somewhere safe to get in and start to open this. There's a bit of shine coming off the top camera at the moment in the lighting, but hopefully once this is off, that will go away. Definitely a fairly chunky box here. Okay, I know it's probably fairly hard to see, but just tilt the angle there a bit. You might see this is actually raised, the Voidfall writing there slightly raised up. Let's just lift that a bit off. Nice. Put that to one side. Just move the lighting over a bit. Hopefully it's not too shiny. Right. So let's have a look at all the stuff we've got here. Some nice house artwork on the sides of the box there. Let's give it a spin. I think that's on the house mats as well. Companion app. So that's just actually been released today. It's a web app, so you can get it on your PC or on any phone or tablet. Helps set up of scenarios, helps with calculating combat, so that's pretty handy. Some punch boards and counters, we can look at those in a minute. Okay, various bits of paperwork. This is the icon guide, icon reference sheet. It's going to be pretty useful learning the game. Just move this back a bit. The Galactic Box tray manual, so that tells you where everything fits in the game, where to store all the components. The tray overview, so that's going to be how we get these things back into the box at the end. And these are the upgraded components. So the Galactic Box comes with modular house boards, comes with miniatures for all the different fleets. It comes with some plastic harbingers and void storms, and also part of the trays you've got there a technology tableau and an agenda offer, which from what I've seen online from people who've already got this are pretty handy for passing around the table. Next up, the rulebook. This is where you start with the rules of the game. These rulebooks have been available online for a while now off Mindclash Games' website, and they've also actually today, along with the companion app, just released an FAQ and some errata. So there are a few corrections they've made or clarifications. So worth checking out their website for that. This is the glossary, so I think this is basically every component in the game, an explanation of it, all the house abilities, technology, agenda cards, galactic event cards, so you can see if you're struggling with the iconography, this will tell you exactly what's going on. Right, last but by no means least, the compendium. So I think this takes you through a bit of history and background. So a nice bit of backstory, how to set the game up. What else are we looking at here? These are the actual scenarios. So most of the compendium is a collection of scenarios that have been tested, balanced, suggested setups. I think you're free to go your own way, but hopefully you can see here if there's not too much glare. Recommended houses, which galactic events to use, fallen houses, the technologies, plus the layout of the map. If I just zoom that in a bit, hopefully you can see. So there's a lot of variability here, competitive, cooperative and solo modes. So that's very nice. Just move those out of the way a bit for now. Now let's dig into the box itself. So here's a tray that looks like, you can see, I'm not sure if you can see inside very easily, but there's some indents in here, so it looks like the structures, bounty tokens, glory tokens will be going in there. Obviously the stands, another one the same, stands for some of the ships. This tray, let me just pop this lid. So the lid here, if you can see that on the screen, this is actually the agenda offer. Well, so you can see here the symbols for the agendas. So this is where you're going to stack them and show which ones are available. So that's kind of built into the lid of this box. And this has more stands for the ships and also some of the corruption elements. So if I can get this to zoom in and focus. You can see here these are 3D void storms. So we've got a load of those. So they are part of the upgrade in the Galactic Box. They go between different sectors, block them off. Here we've got the Harbingers. So they're used to represent areas where the Voidborn can attack from. So hopefully you can see that if I just get it into focus. Very nice models. Get a bit of a zoom in. Really nice. Yeah, really nice. And the last bit in this tray, just try and make sure you can see from above what I'm up to. These are the actual corruptions. So these go on sectors. They'll have a population die in them to show that a sector's corrupted. They can go onto your agendas, onto your player board, onto your progress trackers. So yeah, these are really key, and that corruption mechanic pretty exciting. So put those all out straight away. So yeah, so that's everything in that tray. Obviously there's more components, that looks like, where the agendas themselves will go, for example. So more to do when we properly get this sorted and boxed up. Next up, so this is the technology tableau. Hopefully you can see that a bit closer in the main screen. So all the technology cards for your scenario are going to go into here, and you can see what's available. You can pass it around the board to other players, so that's pretty handy. That's another nice feature with these game trays. Now, let's have a look at this. These are some of the first ship miniatures. So, here we go. Look at these. These will be mounted up. So hopefully we can get this to focus. So these are the dreadnoughts. These are some of the bigger ship miniatures. They're pretty chunky, and if you can see, they're very nice. There's quite a bit of detailing on there. I'll zoom in, and a slot to connect them onto the bases. And these, I think these are carriers. So another one of the fleet upgrades you can get in the game if you have the right technology. Let me just get that into focus. If you have the right technology, you can deploy different types of ships rather than just your standard corvettes, which I'm sure we'll come to in a minute. So dreadnoughts and carriers. And again, I like the lids kind of just they've got their symbols on there as well, just to help with the packing. Okay, these look like what are going to be player trays. So I think there's one of these for each player. These are the little squares that mark your progress on the civilization tracks on your main board. One side. Yeah, I think there's 4 of these trays, one for each player colour. This one's got some of the counters in it. So these look like the individual turn order trackers for each player colour. Again, these are nice enamelled metal. We'll get all of those out. So hopefully you can see those. Again, very nice. Very nice components. I'll put these over here. We'll be sorting those out later. Okay, these are another very nice metal component. These are trade tokens. If we can see those, and when you get those in game, on the back you can just see it says +1, so you can flip those to, instead of taking just 2 actions from your focus card during your turn, you can flip this to take all 3 actions. So again, very handy. Put them to the side. And the last player tray has some of the cards in. So that's the symbol for technology cards. These look like full of house cards. These are origin cards for the houses, and I think these are for some of the co-op and solo mode cards. So we'll open those up later, I guess. Okay, next up, some more ship miniatures. So what have we got here? So first off, this looks like the Corvette. So these are kind of your standard fleet that you'll deploy. These are your basic ships. I don't know how easy that's going to be to see. Again, nice little bit of detail on there. So everyone is able to deploy corvettes, and even the Voidfall can. So these are the corrupted version. So again, the same. Just get that to again. Focus there. So same models, base model, but with some of that orange plastic for the corruption coming out. That's very nice, actually. I really like that. They look really good. Okay, so we had the dreadnoughts and the carriers before. I think these are destroyers next. Talk about those in a second. So destroyers, so these are much more attack orientated. Again, you need to research the appropriate technology in the game to be able to deploy these, but again, different miniature to represent them. And I think lastly here, these are sentries. So again, go this way up. So some nice details on the bottom there. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, quite like these miniatures. Might have a look at priming and painting them in a minute, in due course. And again on the lid, just the symbols there to help you know exactly what should be in there. Very nice. What I've got here are a load of bags of little connector studs. They're going to be for sorting out the resource trackers and also the influence trackers. So I'll need those to set up all the player boards. Right. So just looking in the top here, if you've got the top down view, bit of packing paper. Don't need that. Here's a whole load of house trays. I know there have been a few comments online about these because you sort of stack the individual house cards and technologies and the like in each of these, so you've got them all stacked up, and already some people have sorted some labels out so you can easily find the houses and technologies you need when you're setting up. But quite a nice solution. Now, lots of nice stuff in here. So if you're looking at the top camera first, let's get these out. So, dice, a lot of dice. So first off, you've got some dice in each player's colour, ones like these. So that will be for their starting sector. I'll actually get those out because I'm going to be wanting to sort out all of the specific pieces soon. And then you've got fixed and standard population die. So they're going to be used to just their counters. You don't roll them in game as such, they're just counters to indicate the different population levels in your sectors. And these are the fleet power cubes. Again, in each individual player colour. Can get this into focus. In each individual player colour, yellow, blue, pink and green, and then these orange ones, you can see those, they are for the Voidborn. So they will go on sectors at the start with the Voidborn fleets, and also if you get attacked, that's to indicate the fleet power of the Voidborn. Looking nice. All the components, I've got to say, looking really good. So peering into the top of the box, getting down to the sort of bottom layers. Let's get out these boards. Let's get out all the boards, and then we'll move on to the bottom layer soon. So I think this is the crisis board, which is for the co-op and solo modes. So you'll be putting crises on here trying to solve them. So that's specific to that part of the game. This looks like the Galactic board for co-op and competitive. So this is really key in driving the actual game. So you'll be putting your galactic events on here. You'll be putting the technologies along here, advanced technologies, trade tokens. This drives the actual cycle of the game and sort of helps step you through each phase. So that's going to be pretty critical. Now these are the modular boards for the houses. So you can see just along the top the different player colours, and they are triple layered, so you can slot cards in underneath when they're on the table. And the idea is very much take one of these many house cards, and actually just show you on the back, I've got a nice bit of information, complexity, play style, bit of background. The two options you've got for the origin card, starting text, suggested strategy if you go with those options, just to get you going. And some of the houses will have special focus cards or house abilities. I'm just not to pick any out so far. Here we go. Here's an example, House Xenol. So Conquest and Politics has got some special focus cards just for them, and it's got some house abilities and rules that apply. So maybe we'll use Xenol as an example. Let's say I'm the blue player. Once I've selected my house, I can just slot this in. Perfectly lines up here. This is where those white squares, so see-through squares, go for the trackers there to move along. Fleet power, technology, cards. These are where your agenda cards go on the bottom. A few reminders here, so really nice, really nice. And plenty of houses to pick from. I'll just show you a few here. Just avoid the glare a bit on the cards. Really love the artwork and plenty of iconography to get your head around. So I think we'll park those off to one side as well. Pretty much down to the bottom of the box now, if you're looking in from the top. So the last layer of game tray, I've got to say they're pretty thick and chunky actually. Not much flex in them, so very nice. And then if you're just having a look in the top down view, you can see what we've got in here. All the sectors and all the remaining cards, like the Galactic event cards. So we'll go through them. First off, the sectors. So these are actually triple layered, and each sector has a kind of special side and what's called like a standard side. And again, depending on the scenario, the game setup will sort of tell you which sectors you need. We've got symbols on, many special rules like fixed population. This one comes already with 2, I think these are banks, and any other special rules. So just flick through these so you can get an idea of some of these special sectors. Some come with printed installations and guilds. And like I say, on the back, some different I think this is a starting sector for one of the houses. But on the back, pretty much you'll just see a standard sector that you can use. So some more special rules here for if you're in control of these sectors. I'll flick through all of them. A pretty chunky stack. Some wormholes, some special planets here, which have some technology effects. And just for completeness, the last one's here. That's nice. Look at the artwork on some of these, it's really nice. Really nice. And yeah, standard sectors on the back. Checking out the last cards in here then. Actually, I might just put these back into the box before we move on. Because they're going to be stored there in the bottom layer. Really looking forward to having a go at this game. Been waiting. It's been pretty much a couple of years since the Kickstarter launched. So yeah, I know a lot of people have been really looking forward to this. So let's have a look through some of the decks of cards now, just for completeness. Might as well pop them all open. So again, just a quick flick through some of these. So cycle 1, Galactic event cards. It tells you how many turns you're going to each get to take. There's some setup conditions, and then there's a scoring condition for the end of the round. So I won't flick through all of these, but there's a huge range of these. And again, each of those scenarios in the compendium has guidance on setting them up. Plus, I'm sure there'll be some fans of the game that are going to be creating their own scenarios pretty soon. These are the cards to help you set up in the solo mode, I think, for the different difficulty levels. Joint focus cards, these are for the co-op game. So they're like special enhanced versions of focus cards. Heroic cards, these are for the solo game. So these, again, you'll have a few of these on offer each cycle that give you a more expensive but more powerful effect. So you might choose to use this instead of your standard focus card. Lovely artwork on all of these, really nice. And again, some more galactic events. What else have we got here? Another big stack. I think these will hopefully just be the standard focus cards. So there should be a full set, yeah. So you can see four production cards, one in each player colour. So these will form the kind of standard pack. And here are a few of the special ones. So you can see here House Xenos, so that was the one we were actually looking at. Luckily enough, has 2 special cards that will replace the standard cards in the deck. And looks like quite a few of the houses, all the houses pretty much asymmetric, certainly in terms of their starting technologies. There's 4 houses that are pretty flexible, which are the kind of recommended starting ones, and then beyond that, some real asymmetry and special abilities in some of these houses. So lots to get into in terms of different ways to experience the game. Back to just the standard cards now. So again, you can see the different player colours, but exactly the same cards here. No difference. Progress, politics, so plenty of symbology to learn, like I was saying earlier. So we put those to one side. Now let's just have a look at some of these cards. Some were from before. Trying to pop these open. Okay, so these are the house setup cards, so the origin cards. So they tell you, dependent on pick A or B. So this is House Valnis. So there's 2 options here, A and B. You start with a different technology, so either shields or escape pods in this case. Then it tells you all of your starting production and materials, some starting bonuses, so moving up on one of the tracks, and what you have in your home sector and outpost, so your 2 starting sectors, and slightly different for the different options. And then once you've done that, you flip it over, and this is your starting agenda. So for this house, these are your 2 options of how you're going to start generating some of these influence points and winning the game. So first agenda comes with your house choice. Now look, I've got a couple of cards here for every house. So again, those will all get separated. A few special cards. And these look like some of the cards, again, to do with the setup of the Crisis deck. So I'm going to be playing some of this solo. So I know some of these are going to be pretty critical for the solo mode of the game. And hopefully get a group together for both cooperative and the competitive mode. So these are crises that will come out from the Crisis deck. Different things you have to do or face a penalty, which help kind of drive you forward in those modes of the game. So again, lots of different ones, different alert levels I think these relate to. Apologies if I get some of the terminology wrong. Next up, agenda cards. These are. So yeah, different agenda cards. They've actually got different symbols on the back for the different types of agenda. They'll get shuffled and go on the agenda. So these are different scoring conditions. But you can also play an agenda, to make it active. You can only play different types of agendas with different focus cards, but you also get to undertake an immediate action. So they can be a good way to get extra actions, but they're also key to winning the game, because you need to be finding some agendas that really tie in with your play style or how the game's going, and that's how you're going to generate the big points to win the game. And a few more crises. Just to finish that off, I'll stack those separately. So these look like fallen house cards. So you'll have some fallen houses on the map in a lot of scenarios. They've got some defenses you're going to have to take down, but then you'll actually get some bonuses like a free technology if you take them over. And in fact, the fallen houses that are in the game are how you kind of set up and choose the other technologies, not your starting technologies, the other technologies in the game. talking of which, technology cards. I think these are the advanced ones. Yeah, these are the advanced versions. So when you research them, you get an ongoing power or ability, plus usually some points. A whole range of those. And the last pack of cards now. So yeah, basic technologies. There's a couple of copies of each. So if you start with one, you'll get that one. The other one will go on the tableau, so other players could pick it. And again, just because only a certain set of these will be in any particular scenario you're playing, and different houses will bring different technologies to the same scenario, same map layout. So again, quite a lot of different options available for you to plan your game. Right, that is everything. That is everything in the box. So something extra here, something a little bit special. David Turczi did a promo pack, I think to celebrate the birth of his first child. And one of the things in that pack was a Voidfall promo tile. I think it's a star nursery with a few special rules. So you can use this to replace one of the tiles in the game. So that's a little bit of an extra that doesn't come with the Kickstarter edition of the game, but you're able to get a whole set of promos for some of David Turczi's games. I've got quite a few, so pleased to pick that up. And this actually arrived in the post a couple of days before the game, so first bit of Voidfall I got. What I didn't show you from the box though is I also have the metal structures. So let's open those up. So this was an optional extra to replace some of the cardboard tokens with metal enamel versions. You can see those there. They feel very nice. Hopefully that's coming into focus. So these are some of the farms, energy. So they're all dual-sided. So again, just very nice. And then these are the installations that go on sectors. So shipyards and sector defences, I think these are. They're really good. Really like the enamel. And these look like star bases. So all of those as well. So those will replace some of the cardboard components in the game. I also got the sleeves along with this, rather than having to think about what size sleeves to get. So just for those of you who are looking to get your own sleeve, what we've got here are 5 packs of the Paladin Arthur sleeves and 2 packs of the Paladin Lamorak sleeves, the bigger ones. So that should be enough for the whole game. Probably before I finish, I should have actually just flicked through these sheets, so sorry about that. Alright, so let's go through these sheets of punchboard. These are some of the combat tokens. This looks like the cardboard agenda offer catastrophe tokens, glory tokens. These are safe havens, which I think are in the solo game. Put that off to one side. A whole load of components here for the blue player. These are going to form the influence trackers, resource trackers. There's glory tokens. There's some of the cardboard tokens for sector defense and the like. Green player, again similar. Pink player. It's like some of the pieces are already falling out. Just to flip over, because here you can see there's bounty tokens here, and these are reclaim tokens, I think. So there's a whole load of those that give you benefits for taking over sectors, and there's similar for the yellow player. So for completeness, that is everything. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that's been interesting and a bit of detailed look at every component. There's so much in here to deal with. Like I said, I'm going to get this sorted out now and ready for my first game.